The Business Day on Mondays, brought to you by
Sagicor, celebrating 55 years.
Welcome back. Time now for the Business Day. Employees. We go now back to another story. Scotia Group Jamaica is reporting a net income of just under $20 billion for the financial year which ended October 31, 2025, a slight decline of about 1.3% compared to last year. Despite the dip in profit, the group sent to $773.8 billion, driven largely by a strong performing loan portfolio.
Our full-year financial performance was bolstered by revenues from our core business growth. For the 12 months ending October 31st, 2025, total net revenues increased by 6.8% over prior year to $67.6 billion. Our 2025 performance was impacted by some one-off expenses that we recorded in Q4, totaling $817 million.
Scotiabank's president and CEO, Audrey Tugwell Henry, says the results also reflect the continued streamlining of its operations.
On a year-over-year net income before taxes basis, Scotia Investments Jamaica Limited, which performed very well, recorded a net interest before taxes of $2.12 billion. Scotia Life Insurance Company also performed well and recorded a net interest before taxes of $4.5 billion. Scotia General Insurance Agency reported a net income before taxes of $224 million. The Bank of Nova Scotia Jamaica Limited, the largest subsidiary in the group, reported a net interest before taxes of $21.5 billion, excluding intercompany dividends.
In the meantime, in line with its commitment to shareholder returns, the board has approved a fourth quarter dividend of 45 cents per share, payable on January 21 to stockholders on record as of December 30. Employees are set to get a tax break of $200,000. Cabinet has approved changes to the Income Tax Act to help persons meet expenses associated with Hurricane Melissa. Finance Minister Favour Williams gave details of the Employee Support and Relief Program while speaking in Parliament this week.
The program permits employers to provide an honorarium either as a single payment or as multiple payments from the 1st of November 2025 to 31st of March 2026, up to an aggregate maximum of Jamaican dollars 200,000 without incurring statutory liability for either the employee or the employer.
And I understand the balance you're trying to strike because you don't want to give up too much revenue, but I just wonder whether that is a sufficient, the large target. Do you retain the discretion at all to increase that? That works out to be over a 5-month period, about $40,000 a month.
This first 200,000 was gauged based off of the requests that came into us thus far from employers. So I'm sure in the years ahead, maybe that figure will change, but right now it's within the context in which we're operating.
The JSE index declined by 2,236 points to close at 309,440 points to the junior market index, which declined by 14 points to close at 3,272 points. The winners were led by Epley Caribbean Property Fund, ISP Finance Services, Margaritaville Turks, AMG Packaging and Paper, and Edufocal. Among the losers were Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, Pulse Investments, AS Bryden & Sons Holdings, Iron Rock Insurance Company, and Mayberry Jamaican Equities, 15 stocks traded firm. Foreign currency trading ended with banks and Cambio selling the US dollar for an average $161.10. The Canadian dollar is being sold for $117.13. The pound is going for $215.02, while the euro is selling for an average $191.04. And that's the Business Day news from overseas after the break.